You should be like,
welcome, Ajay. So the idea is really to understand how to analyze a deal, how to understand whether it's a good deal or bad deal, how to really avoid the things that we should avoid. Because if you get a bad deal, you will be stuck with it for some time. You may not sell at the full market price. You might have to sell at a loss, which I don't want to. So my request to all of you is, please do not rush into a deal. I'm committed to help you get a deal done. I'm committed to help you make things happen. It may take us a little bit time in terms of getting the things done. That's okay, but we'll get it done. But I want to do it right. I don't want to do it the wrong way. I don't want you to rush into something, make a mistake, because as a beginner, as a real estate investor, you don't want to make mistakes. Yes, you will definitely make mistakes as a real estate investor, but so far they are not serious mistakes. That's okay. We will always learn from our mistakes, but the key thing is there are certain mistakes which we should avoid at all costs. The reason for that is because they can be very costly. So let's dive into it. Let's look at the things that we should avoid. I'm going to share my screen, and I prepared a little bit of something for you just to share you the main top 10 things that we should avoid when purchasing a house. Then we'll discuss some deals which have come across. So whenever you have a deal, I want you to pass it over to us so that we can list it on the platform, on the marketplace. At the same time, we could discuss the deal to see if it's a good deal or bad deal. If there's any way to work that deal out, if there's something, a different set of eyes, we can look those deals through to see, and what do we need to do in order to do our due diligence? Because due diligence is also very important when buying a deal. I know everybody wants to rush into a deal, get the deal done. But if we don't do proper due diligence, again, we will have headaches. And as a beginner, as a starter, when you don't have much of a portfolio to rely on, you don't want to make the mistakes. Okay, so let's dive into it. Any questions so far, guys?
no.
Okay. Okay. 10 things to avoid when buying a house. What are the 10 things that we should avoid when we are purchasing a property? You see, if you buy a house with any of these negative things, which I call them negative or bad things, number one, you will not get full market price. It's going to take you a lot of time to sell this property. You may have to dump the price to sell it, and you may be stuck with it for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, or even longer, depending on how serious the problem is. So you want to make sure that, oh, sorry. So you want to avoid all these mistakes because you don't want to be getting into that. And you don't want to burn yourself out when doing real estate. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be profitable. And that's our objective is we want to make it fun. We want to do the deals without stress, without having to make mistakes. And that's why you are here. Okay. And you have to develop a mentality of abundance, which we earlier talked, because without a mentality of abundance, you are going to think this is the last deal on the planet. And if you're rushing into a deal, you're going to make a mistake. You cannot be emotional about a deal. You have to look at the facts. You have to look at the numbers. And that's most important. Okay, these are the 10 things, major 10 things that I would want you to: bad neighborhoods, bad layouts, bad or negative backups, bad numbers, structure issues, bad additions, biggest house on the street, 1 or 2 bedrooms with 1 washroom, gutter, sewage problems, and no comps. So I'm going to dwell into each of these to help you understand them better. Number 1 thing is bad neighborhood. So you want to study. There are a lot of online apps, online data, which is available, like the Area Vibes, crime reports, Family Watchdog, ADT, Go app, Nextdoor. All these apps are available. All these tools are available online to help you study what's the crime rate in the area. How many shootings, how many deaths have happened in the area? People listen to negative news a lot. And if you're buying a property, you want to make sure you want to buy in the area which people consider safe. Because what's going to happen is the more higher the crime rate, the less are the chances of you selling that house profitably. It's a peaceful, nice neighborhood with less crime rate. You're going to have easier, better chance of selling that. Okay, 1 or 2 or minor crime rate is not going to affect it, but it's a lot. People want to feel safe. They want to feel. So please look into these apps or online softwares which are available. There are a lot of data for free available as well. So you want to study and check. The idea is to really see what are the crime rates in the area when I'm buying a property. How do I look at it? Just go online, Google it, look at the crime report, crime data, like crime Area Vibes provide you with a livability score. Okay. And crime reports provide you the crime data on the map. So which area has how much crime and so on. Bad layouts. Bad layouts, I come across sometimes, they have a master bathroom, which is supposed to be attached to a master bedroom, but it's in the hallway. Somebody who's buying a house is the main, let's say parents or whoever they are, if they want to take a shower, they have to walk all the way to the hallway to take a shower or whatever they need to do. It's going to be awkward. There might be guests in the house, there might be people, other family members visiting, and then it becomes awkward if they want to get ready. And then sometimes I come across, you have to walk through one room to go to a washroom. If somebody is sleeping in that room, you're going to disturb that person. So want to make sure, is there a possibility of a second door to the washroom? You see, minor renovations can be done, but I don't want you to be getting into major renovations. So you want to avoid major renovation because this is what people look at it when they're buying a house. And a lot of people don't like bathtubs, and they have 2 standing showers, which is also a mistake because there are a lot of older people or small children who need bathtub. There are a lot of people who have, muscle pains and they want to soak themselves in a bathtub. So you're losing a segment, a big segment of the market if you eliminate that bathtub. So when people are doing renovation, they would put 2 showers because it looks more nicer, cleaner, and all that, but they avoid bathtub, but they're losing a lot of segment of the market. Now they cannot sell that house. So when you're looking at a property, you want to make sure it's targeted towards a lot of people, means all types of segment of your target market. No washrooms on the ground floor. I mean, some houses I've seen, they have only washrooms upstairs. So if you're a guest in the house, you're sending him upstairs. So that's like breach of your privacy. You don't want to be doing that. And a lot of people will avoid buying such a house because it doesn't have a washroom on the ground floor. So that in case guests come, somebody comes and they need to use a washroom, they don't need to go upstairs. You see, do not care what the comp says. Comps sometimes look at, 1,400 square foot house and another 1,400 square foot house is being sold, but the house with a better layout is going to sell faster, although they can be on the same street. So having just a comp just based on the price is not good enough as a real estate investor. You want to look the inside. Is the in-house pleasant enough to the eye? People love open concept. So if it is too congested, if it's too small rooms, what's the size of the rooms? How big are the rooms? Can you even place a bed? I've seen bedrooms where you could hardly place a queen size bed. So that eliminates a lot of buyers. So when you are buying a house to sell or to flip, you want to make sure that you look at all these factors. Bad or negative backups. Is the house backing on to cemetery, nightclub, power lines, strip club, or I wrote power line twice. Seems I like power lines. So, or anything negative that's out there. So you want to avoid that, because the realtor may say, it's fantastic, it's in a beautiful neighborhood, but if in the back alley you open the window, you're looking onto a cemetery, what kind of vibes you are going to have, and a lot of people may not like that. So you will lose a big segment of the market when you're looking into a house which backs onto a negative backup. Okay, so even the comps might say that this is a good deal, but because of this negative thing, it may not be a good deal. So backing onto a golf course, ravine, parks is going to add value. So is it backing onto something which will add value? That's what you want to, or children's park or school or any thing that's nearby. So you want to look at what's adding value, what's taking away value besides the normal comps. So don't look at just the per square footage price. And if a house is got sold for this much and this house is same square footage, it's going to be sold for the same price. No, that's not true. You have to look at the other factors. Additions. I've seen garage conversions. Garage conversions are done by people or investors who want to maybe do student rentals, who want to own a property and maximize the rent. But anybody planning to do rent to own or ALP, they're probably looking at it as a house, not as a rental property. So they may not want garage conversion when you're buying. They may have 2 cars or 3 cars, and they want some place to park their car. And also a lot of time, all these conversions or additions, they are not legal. Okay? The owner may sell you as is, and you just look at it, it's beautifully, nicely finished, and you go ahead and buy it. But what happens is after that, you get a city notice or you get something from the city to demolish it, then you're going to have problem with that. A lot of people do a lot of additions without approvals. And this can be a big headache when you are dealing with a property which does not have approvals. And if it comes to the city's notice, they may want you to remediate that or take care of that. And that could cost, like I bought a house, it had a 5-bedroom. And when I looked into the city zoning, it had a 3-bedroom, 2 bedrooms were made illegal in the house. So I had to open up an arch in between 2 bedrooms to make them 1 bedroom to comply with the law. Thank God my purchase was really great. I had bought it really cheap, so I still made a beautiful profit in it. So that's why your purchase price is the key factor. How cheap are you buying? Because you may come across something unexpected. I've come across a lot of things which shouldn't have been there. I've made a lot of mistakes myself. Okay. And that's what I want you to avoid. Those mistakes that I made, I want you to avoid. Like, you have to do inspections, home inspection. People avoid home inspections sometimes. Oh, I would have to spend an extra $400-500. That's a huge mistake. You don't want to do that. Ruby, you have something to say?
Yeah, I have a question. As you mentioned, number of bedrooms. Does the zoning dictate the number of bedrooms in a house?
Yes. There's always zoning doesn't dictate, but on the layout, on the plan of the city map,
okay,
when they applied for permit to build that house,
okay,
there's number of bedrooms mentioned, how many
approved.
bedrooms exist in the house.
Okay, yeah.
So the city is charging you their taxes and their assessment. The impact is based on those number of bedrooms. And if you have now increased the number of bedrooms, if you applied it through the city, you got a permit and you changed it, you will see the year after this taxes are going to go up because your taxes are based on the number of bedrooms. It affects that. So taxes will go up.
Basically, if somebody is finishing the basement, they should have the approval from the city?
Absolutely. If it's not a legal basement, you cannot, as a realtor, you cannot even write that it's illegal. Or you cannot write a status quo if it doesn't have one. So you have to sell it as is without the status quo of being a legal basement. Legal basement do require a lot of things, which if you write and sell as a legal basement when it is not, you will be potentially liable for that. Because liable for the conversion of it, like the windows have to be big size enough for fire eviction. That's one of the key factors. There has to be 2 exits, kind of it can be a window exit. If it's a window exit on the other side, is it easy for the tenant or the homeowner to climb out? So that's another factor that they're going to look into. And if it's a legal basement as a separate unit, then is the electrical meters, are they separate or not?
So that is about the legality of the basement apartment, say. But I'm talking about if it is just a single family house and the basement is finished for the family use only.
Yeah, even if you use it for the family use only, the electricals you have to get permit. Okay, plumbing you have to get permit. Okay, these 2 things you have to get permit, because if you do them without permits and city comes to know it, they will ask you to take off the drywalls, redo the electrical, and that can be costly. Because it's a fire hazard. It's a fire hazard, and that's the reason they were. And on top of that, in case of fire, the insurance company will not pay for the insurance if it happened in the legal basement. So if the fire started in the legal basement and nobody got a permit for it, insurance company will deny the insurance. Okay, so you want to avoid these things, and they're not difficult to avoid. So what you do is when you're buying an insurance, you tell the insurance company it's not a legal basement. Okay, you make sure that they are aware of it and do it in writing, like in emails or whatever it is. It's not a legal basement. I don't want an insurance for the house. Okay, means you have brought it to their attention. So now if something happens, now you're safe. Okay, or when you're renewing the insurance, after you finish the basement, now you tell them. Okay, so those are things that you want to take care of. Anything else, guys?
Yeah, Gurmeet. I had some issues like this in the past, like basement issues, which I had to spend a lot of money on that one. So now I have a question. So would you suggest if a house is a single family house we are purchasing and the basement is finished but not legally though, like would you suggest purchasing it or like would you avoid it?
No, we will still buy it. There's nothing wrong with buying a finished basement, which is not legal. It's illegal when you're renting it out as a separate unit. For the same family to use that basement, it's not illegal.
But without getting a permit though?
It doesn't matter. Even if you don't have a permit, still as a homeowner, you will be able to use it. If you're letting a third party live in the house and your neighbors, normally you see city inspections happen because your neighbor complained. City inspectors do not come by themselves without a complaint. They come only once they receive a complaint, whether they see somebody walking into the basement, or the neighbors don't like you for whatever reason. So they're going to complain. And that's when the city inspectors come, because city inspectors are really busy and they don't have time. But when the complaint comes, they have to, like in Brampton, where I used to live, 90% of the basements were finished, but were legal. Still in Mississauga and Brampton, I would say 80% now probably of the basement are still illegal. Okay, the reason for that is at that time, the law was not even there to make a basement legal. The law came 2 years ago when you could start legalizing the basement as a separate unit. So now people have started applying, the government has started making things. Before the law was, before 1995, if the house was built, it has a legal basement. But in 1995, the Liberal government passed a law that you cannot have a second unit in the house. The reason for that was they wanted more development. It was a political decision. They wanted more development. They wanted people not to live in the basements and go and buy another house. So that was the government way of making things happen. So when they want to, really push people out to buy properties, so that was the law passed, and that was in 1995, passed by the Liberal government in Canada, where the basements became illegal if they are built after 1995. But now they have again brought back the law that you can legalize the basements. So people are doing that. Anything else, guys? No? Okay. So running your numbers, I come across deals when the seller or the flipper or the wholesaler, they give you their numbers, or the realtor, they give you their numbers. Please do not trust their numbers. As a real estate investor, these numbers are seldom reliable. Run your own numbers. If you don't know how to run, maybe find a partner who knows it. Otherwise, learn it from us. How do you run numbers of a property? That's why I want to discuss the deals so that we can show you how to run the numbers. Okay, because if you are just relying what they listed on, you're buying a property and it will say once fully leased, or pro forma invoice is this much. But it's not fully leased right now. So how can it, or the rent roll is not full. So let's say you're buying a duplex or fourplex or something like that. You want to make sure they're calculating according to the actual numbers. And one thing that the flippers or the real estate wholesalers will always do is they will tell you the rent can be raised, is now below market. Or they haven't raised it because they're good people. And they want you to be the bad guy to go and raise the rates. Please do not trust this. Okay, this is just a sales pitch. Okay, if they could raise it, they're real estate investors, they would have raised the rates. So do not rely that you will be able to raise the rates yourself. If you raise it, that's beautiful, well and good. But I would not buy a property based on the assumption that I will be able to raise the rates. That's why it's worth higher. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to sell you on the hope. They're trying to get you to buy at a future price. So don't do that. So run your own numbers, make sure that it's a good deal, and that's very, very important. Do not rely on the wholesalers' numbers. They are always on the optimistic side. They're always on the better side. Structure issues. This is something serious. This is something serious. You never want to buy, especially when you're starting out. You never want to buy a house which has any signs of structural damage. So when you're doing a home inspection, make sure you do it through a licensed and insured home inspector, because tomorrow you can go back and claim whatever insurance coverage you might need to. And do always buy the title insurance. Some people, some investors just want to say, oh, I'm going to just flip the property. I'm not going to buy title insurance. I'm going to save that money. And what's going to happen is the title may be tainted. There might be some liens, there might be some other problems on the title. And if you do not clear up the title properly when buying a property, or your lawyer doesn't take care of it, when you're buying a title insurance, the title insurance company is going to make sure all the liens which are not supposed to be there have to be removed, and it's a clean and clear title. The title insurance will cover anything, including the structural damage. If a structural damage happens to a property which is not visible to your eyes or visible to inspection, and tomorrow it happens, you can go after the title insurance company and claim it from them. But if you did not buy title insurance, you have no recourse. So by saving that few $100s, you might be making a big mistake. So please do not save on that side. Home inspection is a must, and it has to be from a good licensed insured home inspector. And do not choose the home inspector of the seller. If he says, okay, I know a home inspector, he can do a home inspection, it might be his buddy. And they might write a clause inside the home inspection that you accepted it as is, and all these defects were disclosed to you. And you may not even read the home inspection report. Okay, so when you get the home inspection, please walk through. Always when you're doing a home inspection, at least go through the home inspection report thoroughly. Ask the home inspector and record the call. If you're doing the deal remotely, record that call with the home inspector, whether there are any defects and how does he explain those defects. The home inspector is going to tell you then clearly, and tell him that the call is being recorded. Because when the call is being recorded, he will only tell you the truth. He's not going to do you a sales pitch. Okay, so it's important, never waive the home inspection clause, because as I was discussing last week, somebody bought a house because it's a hot market in Milton area. They bought a house and they waived the home inspection because the house looked beautiful. And it has a sewage problem. And they're going to spend almost $250,000 on that. It was in the newspapers here to get that sewage fixed. Because they have to dig the road, they have to dig all the way because all the sewage was blocked. Okay, so sorry.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
So regarding the home inspection, in case if the seller already did their home inspection and include—
No, we do not rely on that. We do not rely on the seller's own inspection. Anything the seller says, you want to take it with a grain of salt. He may be stuck. He may be in a distressed situation, because a lot of these properties that we are buying from distressed owners. And he may be willing to, deviate from the reality and say this is what is not. So you want to avoid trusting fully whatever they are saying. I'm not saying that they may be bad people, but their situation may be so bad that they might be willing to, change some terms or change some things. And you want to see that with a grain of salt. You want to take the precautions, because after you buy it, after you sign that dotted line, you hardly have any recourse. Anything else, guys? Okay, a lot of people, I come across a lot of real estate investors, and they tell me they own the biggest house on the street. I have never bought a biggest house on the street, for one simple reason is because the square footage price of a smaller house is always higher than a bigger house. So if you're buying let's say 1,400 square foot house, and it costs you $100 per square foot, you cannot convert the same price for the $2,400 or $2,500 per square foot house. It will be always cheaper. And especially in the residential, the neighborhood sales dictate the price. If your house is the biggest in the street, it's never going to get its full value, because any sale that happens on the street is going to be less than yours, and it's going to pull the price down. Let's say you bought a house for $500,000 and the rest of the houses on the street are $300,000. And the next sale in the street happens as $350,000, $330,000, $340,000. What's your average price is going to be? The appraiser is going to have a tough time giving you the value that you bought it for. So you want to buy median, not the biggest house on the street. So that's something to look for when you're looking at the houses. You don't want to be purchasing the biggest house because it looks a deal. It may not be a deal. One or two bedrooms. I come across a lot of in London area where I live. There are houses with 1 or 2 bedroom and 1 washroom. Never buy a house with 1 bedroom, 1 washroom. The reason for that is it's unaffordable. Because there's number one thing, you lost a big segment of the market where they have children. Secondly, a lot of single people, they cannot afford single family houses. They would rather buy condo. It's too much work for 1 bedroom. And then there's not enough in terms of, market to sell that house. Even a 2-bedroom house with 1 washroom is a difficult sell. So in our techniques, what we do is we try for minimum 3 bedroom and minimum 2 washrooms. Those are the best in terms of you might be able to buy for the same price 3-bedroom house as a 2-bedroom house, but 1 washroom house will not get you the price. So when you're looking at a house, unless it's an easy conversion where you can spend $5,000 and you can make a 2nd washroom, but you want to check with the city whether it's possible or not, because the city may not allow it, even if you want to. And secondly, I don't like getting into any major renovation things. If it's a minor, beautiful. It's a major, I want to avoid it because it's going to take away my time and money from doing the deal. And please do not try to make a deal if it's a no deal. A lot of us as newbies, when we are starting out, what we want to do is we think it's a good deal when it's not a good deal. So please avoid that kind of scenario where you're trying to make a deal happen. Adding washrooms or bedrooms may not be always possible. You have to check with the city. What are the costs involved? You will have to do, drawings. You will have to get city approvals. You will apply for permits. Then you have to make sure whether the drainage system supports that kind of addition of washrooms or not. If it doesn't, then it's going to be a headache. Gutter, sewage, environmental, zoning, electrical issues. Any of these issues, if they exist, be very cautious. Avoid such, because all of them are costly. Even roof leakage, if it's an older roof, I would rather buy a house where all the major repairs have been done. Like the furnace has been replaced. So it's best to buy houses which are between 15 to 25 years old. Because if you buy, let's say, a house which is 12 years old or 13 years old, and the furnace is about to be kaput, okay, about to go out of order, or it's already having problem, or the roof is already starting to leak, you are looking for extra expenses. It's not that it's not doable, depending on your purchase price, but then again, you're getting into renovations. But when you're purchasing a house where all the major repairs have been done, a lot of sellers are naive. And when they are trying to sell, and what they do is they want to do all these repairs before they sell a house and hoping that they will get a better price. They might have done all the renovations and they still will not get the price of the renovations that they spent in. So it's very important for you to understand and be savvy when you're buying a house. Has the major expenses been taken care of? At least for the next 5 to 10 years, you should not have to worry about those things. That's what you're looking for. It's a minor paint, it's minor things, no issue, no problem. But nothing major should be there, because that's going to take away your time, because you could get other deals done.
Gurmeet,
Yes.
we talked about checking with the city regarding permit and not permit, possibility of adding a washroom, bedroom, etc., etc.
Yeah.
How do we do that if we call city?
It's pretty simple. A lot of cities are very open to discussions on such matters. So there's a planning department you go to. Okay, and each city has planning department. You basically go, give them a street address. They will pull in the data. They'll pull out all their data, what's possible, what the zoning allows, and they will be immediately able to tell you whether it's possible to add or not. It can be done over the phone, or you can just walk into the city and they can do it.
That information is public. Anybody can get it.
It's public. It's public. The thing is that they openly discuss it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So a lot of investors, once they're starting out, what happens is they want to buy a house even if they cannot find any comps to it. And realtors or the sellers, they would give them the comps which are 5 kilometers away. Those comps are not valid. Do not rely on those comps. Please do not buy houses based on emotions. Do not buy houses based on sales pitch. If somebody's giving you a sales pitch, I know people are fantastic at selling. They can sell, ice cubes to Eskimos. Do not rely on that. Do your own analysis. No comps, maybe no sales in that neighborhood. Maybe it's a bad neighborhood, or maybe it's a super good neighborhood that nobody wants to sell a house. But if there's no comp, you don't have a data to rely on. I want you to run this real estate investment as a business. Okay, so let's look into further how we're going to get that done. So these are the things that we are looking for when we're buying properties. Abandoned properties, vacant property, distressed property, mid-construction properties where they have run out of budget, extensive repair properties where they have again run out of budget, title landlords, divorcees, probates, job relocations. This happens a lot. Partnership disputes. This is a huge partnership disputes. It can be divorces, or it can be real estate partner disputes, because a lot of JVs are happening, joint ventures are happening, and when dispute happens, they just want to get rid of the property. Property wholesalers, tax options, tax liens, power sale, pre-foreclosures, pre-bankruptcy, pre-power sales. So there are lots of opportunity. The way we are going to do is, I want you guys to submit in all the data. I know some of you have done, but the rest of you, I don't know what you are waiting for. Still haven't sent me that information, because I need to help you set up that funnels. Once those funnels are set up, we'll activate the ads and all that to help you get the leads. Once the leads start coming in, you will be daily receiving the leads in your area, whether it's buyers or whether it's sellers. Once you get those leads, now we'll start discussing those leads to help you get the deals done. But if you're not sending me any data about you, I cannot help you set up a funnel. And if there's no funnel, there's no leads coming in. Because the system that we have built up is kind of giving you the tools to find the deals. It's giving you the tools to find the buyers with money, with qualifications and all that. Once you have a buyer in hand, now you can go and look for a property for them. Okay, like for one of our students, we are trying to get deal done. We have one buyer with $35,000, the other buyer with $50,000 deposit. Okay, so we want to get those deals done. We cannot get those deals done unless you give me that data. We set up the funnels and we go ahead. So please, maximum, all of you, within 1 week, submit me that data. Because the longer you drag, the longer it's going to take you to produce the results. And I want you to have experienced the results. So Piotr, Arun, I need your result. I need your data. I need that. Okay. So let me discuss a deal. Here's a deal. Okay. Which I find it's quite different from what we have been preaching, what we've been talking about, but it can be still a good deal. Okay. This is a deal in Kingston. Okay. This is the best offer. And let's analyze. It has 2 houses on the lot, duplexes. I normally prefer dealing with a single family house because it's less headache, because you don't have to take care of other tenants and so on. But the more I analyze this deal, it can be a deal because houses in Canada, okay, I'm not talking about US. US is totally different market price. But in Canada, a single family house is around, median range detached house is around this price. Now you're getting 2 duplexes for this price. The cap rate is beautiful, 11%. There are 2 buildings, 4plex with 8 bedrooms and 2 washrooms. Each has separate unit. The current rent, that's what we are looking at. We are not looking at, you see here, the seller has listed potential rental income. I'm not even looking at that line. I'm not even considering that. I want to make the deal happen at 50,000. So if it works at 50K, it's beautiful deals. That's what we want to look at. Okay, there's additional income of laundry. That's fine. There are companies which I use. If there's a laundry machine you want to install, they can install it for you. They charge you monthly fee, and then whatever rent they collect, they give you a percentage profit out of that. So you don't have to invest money in machines. You don't have to do any repairs. You don't have to do anything. They install brand new machines in your rental property, and that's it. You'll get paid every month percentage of profit out of that. So normally it's 40, 60 or 50 profit out of all the sales that happen. So now let's look at the numbers. So here, the current income, that's what we are looking at. We are not looking at the full term. We are not looking at, what we are looking at is upon closing, because one is owner occupied, that's going to be vacant. Okay, so that's something that $1,400 is not going to be there, but the unit 2, 3, and the rest of the income is going to be there. So I want you to take a look at the income, and it's around 50,000. And then the specs about the front building has one is 3 bedroom plus 1 bathroom. The other is 2 bedroom plus 1 bathroom. The back building has 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 2 bedroom, 1 bath. So here are some inside pictures. So anytime you find a distressed property, one thing common in distressed property is a lot of clutter. You will see a lot of mess. They are like hoarders. They're like, they have a lot of mess in the house. That's shows that their life is in distress also. So when you see property, when it's cluttered like this, will never get this full market price. A lot of realtors, when they get a property, they will list the property like this with so much stuff. So when you buy such a property and you want to resell it, and if you come across with so much clutter, I want you to clear it out. The emptier the house is it, people are not imaginative enough. And even if the tenant or somebody's living in that house while you're trying to flip it or sell it, you want to ask them to maybe rent a self-storage or move something to the garage or something like that, so that all these boxes, everything is gone, and so that people can imagine where I'm going to put my sofa. Like if you look at these two pictures, there's not even room to walk. And when somebody is not imaginative enough, they're not going to see that space and they're going to immediately say no to the house. Although if you empty it out, there might be enough room. So if you, do you see this rooms? Oh goodness. I don't see it. Like the table is just next to the, like there's hardly room to walk. Okay, the building looks fine. Kitchens look nice. You see, look at now. And these are some of the comps. Sorry. This is a sixplex for 1 million in the area. There's a there's a triplex for 620. There's a triplex here, another triplex sold in the area. So that's one deal. No, sorry, let me go back to, so this is one deal. The way you can make this deal profitable, this is what I want to discuss. How can we make this deal profitable? If we can find an owner who can do rent to own, they could rent and live in this 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, the unit 1, which is vacant. Okay. And they could collect the rent, or you could collect directly the rent of the rest of the units. It depends on how complex or how savvy those people are and how much down payment they're willing to give you. If they're willing to give you good enough down payment, you don't mind they take over the headaches of managing the tenants and vacancies. So tell them that they can have all this rental income, which is, let's look at this. Upon closing, it's $4,500, they're saying. And so if 1,000, 1,900 out of the first, then 1,800, 19, so that's like $3,700 income. So still they're going to be receiving 3,000 something as income while they're living in the house. So this can turn out to be a fairly good deal for somebody who has the money and the down payment. They're purchasing both duplexes as a rent to own from you. Because let's run some numbers. Okay, I'm going to just do a quick calculation on this. Let me take out a mortgage calculator and I'm going to run some numbers for you. So it's, let's take it 630,000. You're putting in 20% down. Let's see. With somebody buying as an investment property. The monthly rent comes to $2,134 if you're putting 20% down. At 2% interest. I recently did a mortgage. I know, crazy rates, 1.15. Okay, the rates are crazy right now in Canada. So I know similar is in the US, and these rates are here to stay. So even if we calculated 2%, the monthly rent is, the mortgage is $2,134, out of which the principal is around, let me just calculate. $9,129, around $760. So if I'm to now take this, let's go to an Excel sheet and let's do the calculations of it. I'm going to open an Excel sheet and let's run the numbers. How can we make this deal profitable, or how can we make this deal happen? Okay, let's share the Excel sheet. Guys, any questions so far? Okay, so the purchase price is $629,900. That includes the assignment fee. And if you put 20% down, oh, sorry. Which is 125,000. So the net is, can you guys see this, or should I enlarge it?
Maybe enlarge it a little bit more.
Okay. Okay, so this is the purchase price, PP. Purchase price, down payment, DP, and the mortgage. This is going to be a mortgage amount. If we take it, because we want to be a little bit pessimistic that when we are doing a mortgage, 22%, 25-year amortization, and let me recalculate of date is going to be $2,133.86. Okay. Now, if we could find a buyer, okay, rent to one person who is, let's say, even it's a $50,000 deposit or $40,000 deposit, let's take the worst case scenario. I think we could easily find, when people are looking at investment properties, there are a lot of investors who are looking into buying such properties. So this can be a good flip to newbie investors or people who have an investor mentality. This can be a great deal for them. And if they are putting a $30,000 to $40,000 down, now the rest of the money is your investment. So don't worry if you don't have this. You could always partner with somebody or borrow it from somebody. It's all about working out the deal. So let's look at the numbers. The current rental income on this property, let me go back to the property. Okay, so unit 2 is 1,000, 1,900, then the insurance utilities 3,500, 35. So on closing it will be 1,009. So 50. What about the third unit? So, because the clients are paying their own utilities, so that's what they have calculated. I'm going to just not take all those minor things into effect. So all we are going to say is that they are paying, excluding hydro, plus utilities. Okay, that's good. So they are paying 1,000, 1,900, 19, $2,800. 2,800 plus the utilities. So total, let's take their number for timing, $3,500 as the net. Okay, so that's what we're going to base our calculations on. So if the rental income right now is $3,500, I'm just going to round it up, times 12, that's 42,000. Oh, sorry, I should be. That's 42,000. Your current mortgage is 2,300, 2,100. Let's say if the property taxes and all that is for this property, I have to look at the numbers, but it's approximately going to be another $400 in property taxes. So total, and let's say $100 is the insurance. So your total expense. So guys, this is just a rough estimate. We'll go through actual numbers once we analyze. I'm just trying to do a rough, quick calculations for you here. So if your rental income was 3,500, you are receiving a net here $816. Plus you're living in the house for free. Because remember, we are not taking into account the 3-bedroom house, the 3-bedroom apartment, the first unit into the account. So anybody who's looking at as an investor, so it's a unit to 1,000. It's without the number 1 unit income. Is not even the $1,400. It's not even taken into account. So it's without that. If you took it, it's roughly we're taking without that, the income is still there.
But sir, we took 3,500 as a net, right?
Yeah.
But if the person will not live there,
no,
if
it's
the person will live there, the 1,400 are gone. So the net total, the gross will be 2,800.
no, the person, you see, the tenant is going to live there. The tenant buyer.
Yeah.
So as an investor, they're looking at a deal. So when, let's say they're living in a 3-bedroom house, so they have to pay a rent also.
Okay.
So when they are, let's say they're living there, they're renting out the rest of the units and paying you the price.
Oh.
Okay. Or there are 2 ways of doing this deal. Is you have one rent to own client who lives in the first 3-bedroom, 1 washroom. Let's say their rent is $1,400 and you agree with them, they pay you additional and all that we calculate. And let's say you agree to $1,800 or $1,900 they're paying you month. Now they have a right to purchase from you as per the agreement, but you're collecting the rent from the rest of the units yourself. That's if you're local and if you want to take a little bit headache yourself. That's one option. So that way, let's say they're paying you $1,900. The unit 2 is paying you $1,000. The unit 3 is paying you $900. The unit 4 is paying you $900. So that's 18 plus 28, 28 plus 19. So that's 4,700. Okay.
Yeah, basically $500 increased.
Yeah.
In the cash flow.
Yeah. So that's in case you want to find a buyer who is going to take up just paying for his rent. But there are always possibility the seller may say, the buyer may say that, okay, I don't mind taking care of everything. I'll pay you a lump sum. So what you are receiving is, let me go back. So then let's do the calculation. Let's say the unit 1 is 1400. Unit 2 is 1000. Unit 3 is 900. Unit 4 is 900.
What is that 2% for? 2%, what is that for?
Which 2%?
On the top, after the mortgage?
Oh,
That's
that's the
mortgage.
interest rate. That's the interest rate.
Oh, okay.
Interest rate, the current interest rate. I know both in US and Canada, yeah, now you can get interest rate lowers then. So when you are, let's say this take as the tenant, the rent-to-own tenant here. So you can always agree with them to pay you higher because they are the person who is going to be buying the house. And let's say they give you 40,000 or 30 or 40,000 or 50,000, whatever the type of buyers you can find who wants to buy a house. You see, if they want to buy a house and they need 100,000, okay, or 125,000, and they don't have it, they might have 70, they might have 50, they might have 60. And they badly want to buy a house. So for them, this option may work. So when, let's take the worst case scenario, we find somebody who has 30, 40,000. Okay, if they have 40,000, now they agree to pay you $1,400 rent. Okay, and now plus they are paying you additional rent, and then we have to do the calculation how much additional rent they should be paying you in order to qualify to have enough down payment to purchase the property. And let's say for just for simple calculation's sake, they're paying us $1,900 total, plus 1,000 plus 900 plus 900. Okay. So if we calculate this as a total, this is $4,700 monthly. Your monthly expense on this is $2,600. Minus 2633. So the net that you are receiving is $2,067. So if you calculate how much my profit is going to be and how I'm going to present it to an investor or how I'm going to do a JV on this, let's look at the overall profit from this deal. So a profit from just monthly is 2,000. Let's do a 3-year calculation, 2,000 times 36. That's just out of the monthly cash flow. Then the principal pay down. So if I look at the mortgage calculator, the principal pay down is going to be, I'm just going to run the numbers here. I use Carl's mortgage calculator normally because it's available for free and you can always use this. So it's going to be, let me see, what's the mortgage amount? It's 503,920. 503,920 minus 462,680. So that's another $40,000 worth of principal pay down in 3 years. That's his principal pay down. Okay. And then your appreciation, let's say you are selling, you have agreed with a 5% appreciation based on this price, that the person is going to give you 5% appreciation on for 3 years. And then they're going to be purchasing this property. That is a difference of this price minus this. That's another 99,000. How much was it? 99,287. 99,287. So that's just based on these three factors. It's $214,000 of potential profit in this for somebody who has $80,000 to invest. So if somebody has $80,000+ to invest, they will be able to kind of make this kind of money. That we haven't taken into all the other sources of income that we include, including the penalties, including the monthly calculations, including the split of the difference in the market price and all that. I'm just calculating the basic three. If we take the basic three, so when we are looking with the investor and we're looking at a deal, and if we have signed 3-year sale price as 729,000, okay, the investor is then able to lend you whatever, even 40 or 50,000 or even 80,000 out of this in return for share or out of this. So if you could come to terms, okay, you're helping me invest $85,000, we'll split the profits 50-50. Would the investor be happy? Guys, I just want to hear your comment.
Yes.
That's basically it. So if you talk to an investor and say, I'm giving you and the first thing I'm going to do is I want to pay your principal as much as possible. Okay. Or you can agree whatever terms you want to agree with them. But normally I find such investors who would happily share 50-50 with me. They are funding. I found the deal. They are doing the deal. Let's say you are doing the deal. Somebody else is funding the difference. You already have 40,000. So the investor, when they are doing a deal, they're putting, they're not even putting full 20% down. If they are to buy, they themselves have to put 20% down. And now if you found them 40,000, so they are in fact investing. Sorry, calculations.
How much is the rate of return on this?
Crazy.
Return on investment.
Crazy. Just based on these three numbers, okay, three incomes, I'm not calculating even the whole, it's 252% in 3 years. That's yearly rate of return divided by 3. Show me another income or another investment which can produce you 84% rate of return on your money. And let's say you have money in the RSPs. Would you be willing, you have $85,000 in your RSP account. Will you be willing to do joint venture with somebody who has a deal like this? Absolutely. RSP is not making you anything. You can lend at arm's length. You could put a lien on the property and still share 50% of the profits. The investor is investing zero of his money. He makes $107,000 out of property, kind of guaranteed, because now the tenant buyer has already put 40,000. It's not difficult, guys. We very frequently, that's what I wanted to do, is we very frequently find buyers with $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 deposit. It's a very common. Alone in the last week, I think we found 3 or 4 between 30 to 50,000. So I don't find it too difficult. So what I wanted to do was, I wanted to make our education a little bit more interesting and more exciting. So I wanted to start next week, listing the buyers that we have in hand. Okay, that's why I was waiting for the data, because if I list out the buyers, I have a buyer who has 40,000, who has 30,000, who has 50,000. Who wants to take that buyer and buy the property and get the deal done? Okay. Is Ajay here? Ajay, are you here?
Yep.
Okay, like for Ajay, I have found a buyer in London, Ontario, who has $35,000 deposit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Ajay himself has found a buyer who has $50,000 deposit. Okay, we are trying to get 2 deals done for Ajay, hopefully within the next 2 weeks. Okay, so that's how it is. So guys, it's not impossible. I want you to understand these numbers. These numbers are way better. Okay, mortgage wise, do not worry, we can help you get the deal done. I have mortgage brokers, I have connections. If you need funding, we can help you get it, the deal funded. We can help you get the deal closed. Anybody, any comments? Manmeet, anybody?
Yeah, it looks the deal looks awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have only question about the inspection, and so this property is already under contract, right?
Yeah, this one of the student has under contract.
Okay, okay,
Okay, it's not my deal. When it's my deal, I will disclose clearly. It's one of the students. Okay,
right.
they have included in this $10,000 assignment fee, which is already included in the price.
Plus, we have potential. We are calculating this on what we are getting today. Plus, we have
Yes, absolutely.
potential of increasing the rents as well, right?
Yeah, of course. That, you see, I never want to take those into today's calculation into account. This profit is without those increases. This profit is without, as if nothing changes. If it is as is, still you're making good return. But what if you could implement those? Of course, you will make an even much better return. So if somebody, let's say, is investing $85,000 and they're making 84% return per year, I mean, they're lending that money for 1 year almost, like, and they're getting it back. Of course, you can look at smart financing. We could do all this private lending as well. The way we do is we could borrow 80% from the bank and do 10% private.
So do people do from line of credit as well?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions so far?
Not on the deal. I want to show you the form which I filled out, but I couldn't find out the form for the funnels.
No problem. Give me a call afterwards, and I will go through the forms so that I don't disclose your personal data.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and so let me go ahead continue with that. So there's another deal. Okay, so I just want to every week run some deals with you so that you guys understand that this is possible. It's not that we are talking. These are genuine under contract deals. They can be done. And the student that has a deal has $10,000, because every time we want to disclose upfront how much is the assignment fee. So assignment fee in that case was 10,000. So there's a house in Cambridge, okay, which is a very, very hot market, as we all know it. The wholesale price is $585, which includes the assignment fee. It's on first come, first served basis. Closing has to be done by 24th September, which gives you good enough time to flip it, to do whatever you need to do with the deal. So it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. And here are some details in terms of that. You can always go, or I can send you the information and of this. The wholesale price is $575, so $10,000 is the assignment fee that student is adding, so it's $585, and the current market price is believed to be $640 in that area. And if you do a minor repairs or minor renovations, it could be over $700,000. Okay, we have all the pictures of this deal as well. So if somebody is interested, I can send you the links. I could send you all the pictures. You could see the property. You not see the property, but at least see on the pictures. You could see the property, and if you like it and you want to go ahead, if we could arrange for you to visit and go inside and see the property. I have day before yesterday visited this property, and seems fairly good from outside. I haven't done the inside inspection yet, but it's something that could be interesting. Any questions, guys?
So this can be done on joint venture?
Yes, it can be done on joint venture, absolutely. You can JV with any of the students, you can JV with me, or you can JV with anybody. It's up to you. Normally, this is kind of small deal, so I don't like doing small deals for JV.
Oh.
But students, I can always find you a student to JV. If you want to put 50-50 on a deal, okay, so let's say you put 42 and other students put 40 or 50,000 each of you put, you could do the deal, and we could set you up LLC or company which will own this property, which will purchase this property, and both of you are 50-50%.
Hey, Gurmeet, could you send me the details?
Which one?
The Cambridge one.
The Cambridge one? Sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
And guys, because such deals, they are below market deals. So when they're below market deals, they fly. They go like, okay, they go very fast. And so it's time to act. I know if you are thinking, if you like it, you tell me, you go ahead with it, we help you strike it. Okay. And the buyers, especially in the area of Cambridge or anything, it's not difficult to find. Okay.
I can do.
Okay. So Cambridge and all this, they're hot markets. So Arun, what did you say? I didn't hear properly.
I say if I can do joint venture, I'll be interested.
Absolutely, no problem. Anybody interested in joint venture with Arun?
For which one?
Arun,
Cambridge,
which one?
Cambridge one. Cambridge.
Cambridge one.
Right. The second one that you were showing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Sir, can you send me the details for the Cambridge one?
Also? Sure, absolutely. Okay, so I'll send you those details. I'll send you all the pictures. You can take a look at pictures. There's videos. Always we ask for videos, walkthrough videos as well. So you can walk through. And guys, I would suggest even doing joint ventures. The reason for that is all of you are learning at this stage. You want to minimize your risk and you want to learn together.
Right.
You want to learn together. And that's basically it. Okay. But as far as I am concerned, I look at these deals. So far, they pass the home inspection. They're good deals. They're money to be made. So the only thing would be the home inspection, which will put the clauses as doing the home inspections and looking thoroughly that there are no any evident major problems with the property. So that's not a difficult thing to do. Okay.
So you'll send me also, right?
So it's Arun. Who else? It's Binoj and Manmeet. 3 of you, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. I'll send you that. And any questions you have, just give me a call or just text me, and I'll give you a call once I'm available, and we can go through, discuss, and how you would like to structure it, whether you would like to do a joint venture, whether you would like to partner with anybody or something like that. And if nobody partners with Arun, I will partner with Arun to help him get his first deal done. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. My goal is, guys, I'm one of the very rare teachers. Okay. My goal is to help you succeed. I'm committed to help you succeed. So please do not give up. Commit yourself to success. And I know it can be done, and it can be done easily. It's all about taking action. It's all about making things happen. Okay. When you cannot find an investor, I will be the last options. I will be open to that, doing joint ventures with you or helping you do a deal, because then you will feel that, at least you're in safe hands. No issues with that. But I would prefer students to do joint ventures between themselves as well, because I will be overseeing when you're doing the JV with them, that you take the normal precautions. We'll give you the contracts, we'll give you all the things that you need to do the JV safely. Okay.
Sir, also, uh, I sent one London deal, right?
Yeah.
So do see that one if it qualifies.
Let me take a quick look at your email and let's see if we could discuss. Do you want me to openly discuss it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, just give me 1 second.
I also
please.
got the pictures yesterday for the property. I can share it.
Manmeet, I will allow you to share your screen. Okay, maybe go ahead and share your screen.
Okay, let me 1 second. Let me. Let me open my email 1 second. I think I sent you from the other one.
So John would be also interested in JV with the Kingston property, as I read in the comments. Calvin says it's nice deal. Okay. I'm just reading the comments here. Nice deal, nice deal. So I could share in the meantime, while you guys are still
yeah, I'm just opening one.
Waiting for Manmeet, so that I can share the pictures of the of the Cambridge house. So it doesn't look bad from inside, like it looks very nice. At least taken care of. Yes, there are always minor repairs when somebody's living in there and they're moving out. There's always some repairs to be done. Okay. You see the one sign that you see is clutter. In every distressed house, you will always see clutter. Once you see on MLS or anywhere, see a picture of clutters, those are distressed houses.
Those are good buys, I guess.
those are good buys, or some unfinished work, something like that. Like such a repair is not difficult. It's like a 2-hour job for any good guy to come and finish it. Like these minor repairs, okay, are easy. But something like this, when you see something like this, it can be a possibility of flooding. Okay, so you always want to get it inspected by the home inspector to check if there was a flooding or not. Because when they cut a dry wall, 6 inches off the wall, there's a sign of possibly basement flooding or something like that, or some spillage or some breakage. Or if it's a breakage or something minor, then it's fine. But if it was something major, you want to take a look into it.
Might be mold issue.
Mold issues, yes. The home inspector will tell you if there's any mold issues.
So can I share now? Screen?
Yeah, just give me 1 second. Let me just finish these pictures.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you'll always see a lot of clutter in terms of the house. That's the only thing. But once you clear it up, it turns out to be fairly good a house. Okay, so a lot of it is painting job.
So all that thing is taken into consideration for this, expenses.
Yes. So when we are looking at a house or something like that, we always will go and check or send somebody to go and check and take care that all the major things are taken care of. So
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
While we're seeing the pictures, I believe I see the circuit breaker. It's a fuse.
Yeah.
And if it is still there, knob and tube.
Okay. You see, the thing with home inspections, if it's old breakers or if it's old electrical,
Yeah.
if you are not doing any repairs and it's still in good working order, that's fine. But if you do any repairs, then you have to comply with the current laws.
Okay.
But if it's already pre-existing, you are not required by law to change it, because it was approved at that time, so that precedent continues till you start renovating.
How about the insurance companies? How they look at it?
They will look, when the home inspector comes, they will immediately tell you whether those breakers are good enough to pass insurance or not. Okay, so home insurance companies have no issue if there's no incident there.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I bought a lot of properties with the old electrical still. They are still fine. They are okay with that. Okay, Manmeet, you can go ahead and share.
Okay. Can you see the screen?
No, we still cannot see you.
Okay. 1 second. Let me. So this is the detail. Can you see now? Detail.
It says you started sharing screen. We're still not seeing it. Yes.
So this is the detail about the property. So still I want to sell it around 600, but he will agree around 580. I have checked the forms around the area.
You are
So
breaking out. We can hear you.
Your voice cannot be heard.
Cannot hear properly.
But what I can read from here is that he's willing to sell it for 580. Assignment via 5,000. The only, you see, guys, I want to be always very upfront as your trainer. I want to be upfront about everything that I see, and I want to tell you, I don't care which student it is. It's my job to tell you what's good, what's bad from my perspective immediately on C. One thing that I don't like here is the condo fees. Anytime you see condo fees, you want to walk away from the deal for one simple reason is that the day you're buying, the condo fees are low. But condo fees never go down, they always go up. And if the condo fees are going up, they're going to, over time, it's going to become, they're going to pull down the price of the house down. So you always want to make sure, if you want to buy and flip, beautiful. If they're condo fee, no issue with that. But if you want to buy and keep a long run, then there should be no condo fee. It should be a freehold.
What is the market value?
I can quick.
Manmeet
was some
610. Can you get me? 610, 615.
610, 615. No, then there's not enough markup.
So there's no good deal.
That's not good enough. Okay. If it's only 10, 15,000, that's not good enough. Minimum, it has to have 10%. That's the minimum, bare minimum. Okay. Then you have enough room for, anything. You see, on a $600,000 house, if it's 10%, it's around 60,000.
60,000. Okay.
Okay.
Because he's my friend, so he wanted to sell like not on the MLS. He's trying to save on the fee.
Okay.
That is the reason he wants to sell 600, so he will come from 570 around that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of times these deals are with flippers and all that, but the thing is that you have to have good enough markup for it to be profitable, because we don't want to be buying a deal. I find the Cambridge and the Kingston deals are way better deals in terms of profitability, in terms of market value. So both the Kingston one is a little bit more kind of complex because there are more tenants involved, but it also has a more potential. Okay, the thing that could be done with the Kingston is, I don't know if can be done or not, but if I were to do that deal, I would do in such a way, I would look at this map and talk to the city if I could do the severance of the two houses. Okay, the severance cost is not much. I've done a lot of severances of land. It costs about $10,000, $15,000 to do a severance. Severance means I'm splitting the one lot into two lots. So I'm making one house into two houses. So because they're already detached, separate buildings, all you have to do is divide that driveway or put some small fence or whatever it is. But we just have to study whether that can be done. If that can be done, the price shoots up. The price shoots up tremendously in those cases because single detached in that area is around 500,000. Okay, so then the price shoots up tremendously. I'll show you a deal maybe next time. I don't have it. I can just maybe pull it on the map.
Okay, I have a question regarding the severance. Would you talk about the severance before you take over the property or after taking over the property?
No, we will always talk. You see, we tie the deal down.
Yeah.
And if it's profitable, it can be done without severance. It's already profitable. It's beautiful.
Mhm.
Okay. If it's profitable, you tie the deal down, you do the deal without it. But at the same time, you immediately start talking to the city because severance takes 6 months to a year.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned about.
Okay. So you are not depending on severance to make money.
Yeah. Okay.
You are depending on severance to make a fortune.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
So like I don't know if I have right now. I can show you. I bought a deal in bankruptcy for 189,000. I'll show you. It's let me see if I could. I don't know if I will be able to pull it right now so quickly. So it was the way I did was. Let me just Google it. Okay, I can just show you on the map.
When you working with the tenant buyer, how does the severance work? Because it's gonna take a long time.
No, because the thing is that in that case, you're not looking at it as a tenant buyer deal.
Oh,
You are just renting it as tenants.
okay.
You're just renting it on short-term tenants, and you are not looking at it as a tenant buyer deal. Okay, let me see if I could kind of zoom in. It would allow me. Yes. Okay, guys, I bought. You see this ugly building, ugly house? I don't know what's wrong with Google. It's kind of blocking something. So I bought the small. Is
We
my
don't
screen
see
being shared? Okay.
we don't see that. We only
We
see
don't.
handsome
Sorry,
face.
sorry, sorry, sorry,
We
sorry,
only
sorry.
see handsome face.
Okay. Okay. So I bought this is 215 to 255 Norman Street. I still own part of this building. So I bought this building, this house, this warehouse, which is 10,000 square foot, and this shed. I bought this whole in pre-bankruptcy for 189,000. I did a severance, so we split it here between the house and this warehouse. I sold this section because now it's severed for $699.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that's how you make money. And now this property today is listed for 1 million alone, this warehouse. You can see the MLS listing out of it, 10,000 square foot. So that's how you kind of make money when you buy pre-bankruptcy, which we will be covering as well. But I would want you to start dipping your feet. I want you to start, learning to analyze, because pre-bankruptcy deals, when you get them, they are pretty quick. You cannot wait for a few days. You need to act right away. You need to get them and done. You buy them, and it was on a 1 acre lot. I don't know why the Google map is kind of covering it up. Okay, it was on a 1 acre lot. So now we had, this was sold to one of the investors. Okay, so the investor bought it from us for $699. They invested $250,000 on it. It's recently sold for $1.699 million. So I helped the investor make a good, handsome money in this also. So the current, let me show, see if I could pull this out somewhere. I wasn't even prepared to. I don't know if I would have it right away, but okay. So this is that property. You see the appraisal came? 1.61. Sorry, maybe I again forgot to share.
Yeah, we can see.
1.61, and that's what the investor sold. It got sold for 1.675. They paid a little bit higher than the appraisal value, but it took him almost a year to finish. He was a brand new renovator. It took him a year to renovate, but that's okay. He still made several $100,000. So
where this property is?
In Palmerston, north of Gulf, north of Gulf. So I currently have that property listed on MLS. I just listed it I own the few properties in that town, so this is let me see. Okay, so this was that property. Where is it? What the heck? Okay, it's a wrong address. I forgot to put west. In the same town, you have seen on my brochure this building. So it's the same town. This is the building that I own. So it's in the same town, just one street away from there.
We cannot see that.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So you see that big, okay, now you will be able to see once I go. You see this building? I was showing you this building.
Yes.
This is now listed for sale for 3.5 mil. Okay, and so this building is this is also interesting fact. A lot of you still haven't started learning commercial, but I can show you how to make money in commercial. Like this building in itself requires around $300,000 investment. Okay, per sale price is 1 million. You invest 1.3. I have a tenant buyer lined up for this who is willing to take this. Let me show you a quick calculations on Excel sheet, how you can get a deal, something like that. I'm just opening up, giving you in mind different ways of calculating. This is a 10,000 square foot, which in that town could be rented for $15 per square foot. Sorry, it's 10,000, not 100,000.
Over one more zero.
Yeah, so it's 150,000 yearly rent minus property taxes. It will be 135 at a 6.5%, 7% cap rate. That will be worth around 2 mil. So investor who is going to be buying this property is going to invest 200 to 300,000 on 1 million. Will be selling it around 2 mil. So that's when you get to commercial side. Now don't worry, learn the residential first. Okay. Any questions, guys, so far? Piotr, any questions? No?
No, I don't have any questions.
Calvin, any questions? I want you guys to actively ask me questions because my goal is to really make sure that you understood what we are trying to do and how to get the things done. That's why I want you to fill up those forms that I want to know where you stand financially. If you are financially not in a strong situation where you have funds around, we'll look into the deals where we are doing no money down deals for you. If you have the finances, we want to look at how can we get something like this done right away to help you start making the profits.
So, Mr. Singh, have you got my student current financial status?
Yes, I got
Okay.
that.
All right.
Okay, but that's something that I will be discussing with you personally. So
Yeah,
Piotr, and Arun, John, Binoj will be after 1 week. But these three of you, I want you to start booking one-on-one calls with me. All of you will have 3 to 4 one-on-one calls with me. My
Every
idea is to
Saturday.
really understand the strategy, streamline it, and let's get our deals done.
Sir, I have also filled my financial form. Just have a look.
Yes. So yeah, I'll take a look at it as well, and then we'll move on to Manmeet and the rest of the guys, so that we could have one-on-one calls.
I booked the call on Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
Did you get mine too?
Yes, I got it.
Okay.
Okay. So Ruby also, you need to get on one-on-one calls. Okay. So
I'm gonna fill my funnel
if
form.
after the first month, after the 5th week or 4th, or even after 4 weeks, you can start booking your one-on-one calls, because my goal is to speed up the things so that we could get the deals done. Because our objective was to at least help you strike one deal during the period of your first training. So let's at least help you get one deal done. Okay. All set?
All set. Yeah.
Okay, take care, guys. It
Thank
was
you.
lovely spending time with you.
Thank you.
And take care. Any questions, just shoot me emails.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.